Hello friends! Welcome back to Friends Between Pages.
For this video, we will be showing you guys our quarantine book haul, basically all the books that we bought during quarantine.
It was actually inspired by Pam because she made us buy a lot of books. It's her fault.
I found buying books a stress reliever.
So easy to just click add to cart, just click buy, just click check out. Next thing you know, you have 10 books coming in the mail.
Let's get started. On the Come Up by Angie Thomas, Dear Martin by Nick Stone, Evie Drake Starts Over by Linda Holmes. I didn't expect my local bookstore to have a copy of this book, so when I saw it online on their website, I had to buy it right away. American Street by E.B. Zoboy, Pizza Girl by Jean Kwang Fraser. I didn't know this book existed until so many people on Bookstagram were messaging me telling me, "Hey Karen, do you know this book? It's called Pizza Girl. Maybe you should read it because you love pizza." And I got it. I got it because of that. Vengeful by V. Schwab, The Pup You Are by R.F. Kwang. I didn't really plan on buying this book, but both Sharna and Pam loved it, so I'm giving it a try, and also because everyone on Bookstagram is raving about this book. It's adult fantasy, and adult fantasy is a genre that I fell in love with this year, so I'm really excited to get to this. The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I have heard nothing but rave reviews about this book. And I started it in January, I think, but I didn't get to finish because... Why didn't I get to finish it? I think I got distracted by other books. I'm so sorry, but I'm looking forward to continuing this book before 2021. In a Perfect World by Trish Dollar. I read this book back in 2017 and it's diverse. I loved that the main character is a Muslim. I'm so happy I finally have a physical copy of this book. The Fill-In Boyfriend by Casey West. Old school. But Casey West is one of my favorite contemporary writers. I turn to her books every time I feel like I just want something light and easy to read. Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. I used to read a lot of Colleen Hoover's books. They are some of my favorites because they're romance, and I am a sucker for romance books. I love romance. I am a hopeless romantic, and this is my first time reading another Colleen Hoover book in like 3 years. I haven't read any of her other new releases like Verity, Without Merit, and Regretting You. This is YA, very different from her other books, but I loved it. It's about giving people second chances and the fact that sometimes believing in someone is the best gift you could ever give them. Starry Eyes by Jen Bennett. Jen Bennett is another favorite contemporary writer of mine. I love her book so much. I loved this book. I read it 2 years ago, and I am actually currently reading her newest book. It's called Chasing Lucky, and I'm really enjoying it. A Man Called Ove by Frederick Backman. Frederick Backman is now one of my favorite authors. There's just something about his writing that really gets to me and speaks to my soul. The Road by Cormac McCarthy. Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. I should have read the synopsis prior to buying the book because the synopsis, it sounds like something that I wouldn't want to read and something that would do a lot of bad things to my mental health. So I don't know if I will be reading this book, but maybe I'll read it, maybe I'll sell it, maybe I'll give it away. I don't know, we'll see. Circe by Madeline Miller. Winter, Cinder, Scarlet, and Cress by Marissa Meyer. The Lunar Chronicles. The Nightingale by Christine Hanna. This is my most favorite book of all time, and I used to have the mass market paperback, but given that it's my favorite book, I had to have the hardback edition. And this is a secondhand copy. I love secondhand books. I buy more secondhand books than brand new ones because I think they're more practical and it saves me a lot of money. Also, I like the idea of like the previous owner taking care of a book and then now it's been passed on to you and now it's your turn to take care of them. The Great Alone, another one by Christine Hanna. I can't wait to read this. I think it won Best Fiction on Goodreads last 2018, if I'm not mistaken, and it's set in Alaska, so even better because I love reading books set in Alaska. The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. Lovely War by Julie Berry. The Color Purple by Alice Walker. A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. Here by Roald Dahl. The Promise by Daniel Steele. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Gentleman the Third Series. Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge. Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V. Schwab. This book, oh my god, this is on my top 3 favorite reads of 2020. Me and Sherna, we loved this book so much. It's 10 years in the making and it's V. Schwab, one of my favorite authors, and it's so good. It's phenomenal. Go read it. A Conjuring of Light by V. Schwab. Dreams of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor. Laini Taylor is another author of mine. I love her book so much because I'm so in love with Laini Taylor's writing style. It's just so magical and whimsical. I still don't have a physical copy of books 1 and 2, but at least I have the third book, and sometimes you gotta take it slowly, one book at a time. Fable by Adrienne Young. I cannot recommend this book enough. Me and Sherna both loved it again, and I loved this story so much. We're not done yet. I also have a few books at Sherna's place because last time we ordered books together and we decided to have the books shipped to your address instead because it's way cheaper, and that's the If I Stay duology by Gail Forman, If I Stay and Where She Went, and Confess by Colleen Hoover. I also bought Sherna's collection of The Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater because she's selling it, and it's, for the meantime, it's at her place on her bookshelf. Aside from that, I also have a few books that are at Josh's grandma's place in the States. Why? Because Josh loves browsing books in the middle of the night. He would message the 4 of us or one of us asking if we want to add anything. And of course, we always do. I asked him to buy a physical copy of the Bridge Kingdom series by Daniel Jensen. That's one of the theories that I fell in love with this year. I can't wait to have the physical copies in my hands, and so he did. I also asked him to order a hardcover of Dear Emmy Blue by Leah Louie. That is one of my favorite reads of 2020, probably on my top 3 together with Invisible Life of Addie LaRue and Fable. And I love that book so much. It's relatable. It's the story of my life, period. I need new friends. Josh, Sherna, Pam and I, we have a group chat, and every time someone sends a screenshot of a book, like probably a special edition, and say something like, oh my god, this edition is so pretty, I'm thinking of getting it, everyone, and I mean literally all 3 of the people in the group chat would say, yes, please get it, it's beautiful, it is beautiful, go get it, buy it. Nobody will tell you to stop what you're doing and just chill. Nobody. I need new friends. I need friends who would, if I ever end up sending a screenshot in our group chat in the middle of the night telling, oh my god, this is so pretty, should I get it? those new friends would reply, Karen, it's 2 a.m., go back to sleep, good night. I need friends like that. I'm kidding. I love these three people so much. We're so close. We have the most active group chat in the world, and I'm just so thankful for them. Even though we're all broke, at least we're all broke together. Also, last Friday, Josh again and Pam, they ordered books, and they asked Sherna and I to add anything else, and I, of course, again, I added Paper Mill classics. Frankenstein, Dracula, and The Picture of Oscar Wilde. The Picture of Dorian Gray, and that's it.
Okay, so I'm going to start my haul. I think I've separated them into categories. So first are secondhand books that I have bought locally, and those secondhand books are Unite Me, and then Shatter Me hardcover, that's the original hardcover, and then Unravel Me hardcover, and Ignite Me hardcover. So I bought this a few months ago, and it's from a local bookworm who was selling her like an entire shelf of books. They're in pretty amazing condition, so I bought this. I only have the paperback copies of the first 3 Shatter Me books, and I didn't have the novella, so I bought them. Next is another local haul. These are the books I recently bought from local bookstores. So first is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. A little something about this book. I also have a copy coming from Book of the Month, and then I also have 2 more from Book Boxes, and I have another one from Forbidden Planet. So I have 5 copies of this. So this times 5. Next, we have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This one I also have another copy coming, the UK edition, the standard UK edition, and then the standard US edition. So I have 3 as of now. But you'll see another one later, but it's from a different category. Next, we have Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. I am a huge Carrie fan, and I also have another copy coming from a book box. Next, we have Hunting Prince Dracula by Carrie Maniscalco. I bought this last night. I saw it at a local bookstore and it was 50% off, and since I don't have a hardcover of Hunting Prince Dracula, I bought it. Next book that I bought is Something to Talk About by Meryl Wilsner. So this is a romance book, and it's between 2 women. One is an actress and one is her personal assistant. Next book that I bought is the international trade paperback of Sky Hunter by Marie Lu. I love Marie Lu. I have been a huge fan for like, I don't know, 7 years, 8 years. So I bought the international trade paperback. Next book that I bought is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. As you can see, there are many tabs. I really like this book, and I also have a copy, a hardcover US edition coming in, and then a hardcover US edition of The Dragon Republic. So yeah, that's 2 more books. So that's it from local booksellers. Next category is books that I got from book boxes. So first is the latest from Illumicrate, which is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. So it's a gorgeous, gorgeous edition. So yeah, so I have 4 copies of Addie LaRue in total. Next is Aurora Burning by Amy and Jay. So this is also from Illumicrate. It's not part of the monthly subscription, but the first book, Aurora Rising, was a part of the monthly, was a book of the month last year, and they saw this matching gorgeous edition with an exclusive cover. So yeah, Isn't he gorgeous though? Kyle is my baby. Next is an Owl Crate book, and it's Where Dreams Descend by Janela Angeles. So Janela is Filipina, so I subscribed to Owl Crate just to get this book, and it's this gorgeous naked hardcover edition of the book, and as you can see, the cover is printed on the hardcover and has exclusive end papers. Yeah, and it's also signed. So yeah, this is such a great book. Go read it if you haven't yet. Next book is The Cruel Prince and the Wicked King. So this is not those two books. This is The Queen of Nothing. So it came from like their exclusive edition box from Fairy Loot. But yeah, I did buy the matching edition of The Cruel Prince and the Wicked King. They arrived months ago and I just shipped them to me recently, so they are still making their way to me. But yeah, I bought those two books. Next is The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. This is an early edition from Fairy Loot and it's exclusive and it's very shiny. Like I said, it's brighter than my future. So this book is coming out next year and it's really amazing. You guys, you should go pre-order it. But this edition from Fairy Loot has exclusive sprayed edges, so it's really pretty. Next is Girl Serpent Thorn, and this is a Fairy Loot exclusive edition. It has sprayed edges, exclusive cover, and I love the sprayed edges because the mint green matches the leaves accent here on the cover, and I just love how I love them together, and I love this dusty pink cover. So yeah, next is another Fairy Loot edition of Forest of Souls by Lori M. Lee. So it has a cover inside and it's really gorgeous, and it's by Rs28 if I remember correctly. Another Fairy Loot book, and it's shielded by Kayleen Flanders, and it has a very sexy black sprayed edges. The last one from Fairy Loot, and it's Fable by Adrienne Young. You guys, this is mine and Karen's probably favorite book of the year. We love it. We love it so much. And the Fairy Loot edition has this teal sparkling sprayed edges. And those are not the only books that I got from book boxes. Some of those boxes are still making their way to me. So I also have the Illumicrate edition of A Deadly Education, which by the way I'm going to sell because I'm not supporting that. I also have Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. That's Illumicrate edition, and it's also making its way to me. I also have the, like I mentioned earlier, Kingdom of the Wicked edition from Fairy Loot. And I also have another one, the November Fairy Loot book, which is These Violent Delights. And I also have Owl Crate's December book, These Violent Delights. So yeah, those are everything that I got from book boxes, and they're making their way to me. Next books are Sarah J. Maas books. They're Throne of Glass books that I didn't have in hardcover, and I needed them because I bought the Nerdy Ink Throne of Glass recovered box. So first is Assassin's Blade. As you can see, it's already in the Nerdy Ink hardcover, but yeah, this is a brand new hardcover. Crown of Midnight, Arrow of Fire, Queen of Shadows. This next batch is Book of the Month boxes, so I was able to be a subscriber until the middle of the year. These are the books that I got during the pandemic. So first one is Beach Read by Emily Henry. Next, I have Boyfriend Material. The last book of the month book that I got is The Two Lives of Lydia Bird. Next one, this is like a miscellaneous purchase. I read this book based on recommendation of my friends, and I bought this off of Book Depository, and it is Deathless by Catherine Valente. You guys, read this book. Read this book. It is so amazing. It is so good. So read this book. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Next, I got a few signed copies of books, so that's what I'm showing you. First is Losing Hope by Colleen Hoover. This is the hardcover limited edition, and there aren't a lot of copies of this book, but yeah, it is signed by Colleen. Sharna, if you can see. I'm so bad at this. Next, I got a signed hardcover of Sky Hunter by Marie Lu. So yes, you saw the paperback earlier, but I do have a hard copy, and yeah, this is signed, and it says, "To Sharna, Eyes Forward, my Death Dancer." So that is like a quote from one character to another. This one is probably my most favorite signed book that I own, and it is The Silvered Serpents by Roshni Chokshi. So I'm a huge fan of The Gilded Wolves. I love Roshni Chokshi so much. I just adore her writing, and I adore Gilded Wolves and The Silvered Serpents. I got the chance to read this earlier as part of the street team, and I loved it. And so I bought a signed copy, and it says, "To Sharna, Enrique Mercado Lopez's official hand holder." Official hand holder. Like, I only wrote please personalize to Sharna Enrique Mercado Lopez's hand holder, and then she added official, and then also a love you too. I love her so much, so much. Okay, so last stack of books. These are all Jennifer L. Armentrout books. I am a huge fan of Jen. So first is the ones from the local seller, and it's the okay, clearly I can't, my hands aren't big enough, but yeah, this is the Lux series by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and I love that they're in the very ugly original cover. I mean, come on, like, he's gorgeous, but like, just no. But yeah, they're really cheap too, so I bought them. I really liked the series. It's paranormal, romance, and urban fantasy. I really like those genres, so I'm a sucker for Jennifer L. Armentrout, who writes a lot of urban fantasy and paranormal romance books. Next are signed and personalized Storm and Fury and Rage and Ruin. So these are hardcovers, and they're personalized. So there, stay safe. And then here it says enjoy. I think it does say enjoy. I pre-ordered Rage and Ruin and Storm and Fury because Fountain Bookstore, the bookstore that organized the pre-order, donated $1 for every pre-order of this book to NFB. I'm so sorry, I forgot what that stands for, but it's an organization that I think helps with people with RP or retinitis pigmentosa, which is the same condition that Jen has, and also the main character here, Trinity. So they both have RP, and for every pre-order of this book, the bookstore donated $1 to the organization. Finally, the last book that I ordered was Wait For You by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So if you didn't know, I love romance so much. I'm a huge romance reader, and Wait For You is my comfort romance book. It's one of those first books that I've read from Jennifer, and I just really love this book. It brings me comfort every time I read this, and it brings me out of my slump whenever I'm in a slump. And so I was so happy that this went on sale on her website and that it's signed. Okay, so I have a few other books that I didn't mention that I forgot, and they're mostly there because they're either still in the UK or the US, and they're making their way to me, or they're pre-orders and they haven't arrived yet. So I bought the Blood and Honey box from Fairy Loot, so that has the exclusive edition of Serpent and Dove and Blood and Honey. Then I also bought a UK hardcover of Ad Gileru. I don't know if I mentioned that. I think I did. And with that, I bought 10,000 Doors of January. That's from Waterstones. And then I bought the Revenants trilogy by Amy Plum. So those are 3 books. And I think they are arriving on Monday. Hopefully they will. Those are hardcovers that I bought from a local seller. Actually, the final book that I got is the Reputation tour book. So it's very pretty and it has gilded edges and it's very heavy. It has the 2 Reputation magazines into like one giant pretty snakeskin book. So yeah, this is the last one that I bought. And yeah, I don't know, I don't want to count how many those are. So yeah, yikes.
I'm gonna divide the things I bought or the books I bought by 3. So I'm gonna start with the books that I've already read and I'm currently collecting. Okay, first are Mary Lou books. Okay, who loves Mary Lou? I guess everyone does. So first I bought Legend, Prodigy, and Champion. I think you know the series all too well. Okay. Next, Rebel, the 4th book. I haven't read it yet. Then, Young Elites, Rose Society, and Midnight Star. I also bought Warcross. Already read Wildcard, but I already have that book. Okay. Next, for Sarah J. Maas series, I bought Throne of Glass, Assassin's Blade, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, and Queen of Shadows. Next, from Maggie Stiefvater, I love wolf books, okay, werewolf books or whatever. So I bought Shiver, Linger, and Forever. Then, for Claudia Gray, it's a time travel book. I bought 1,000 Pieces of You, 10,000 Skies Above You, and A Million Worlds with You. Next, I guess this is a classic, I wouldn't buy this. It's Veronica Roth book, Divergent, Insurgent, and Legend. And I also bought my beloved Susan Collins. Hi, if you're watching, hello. Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay. Next, I also bought some Marcus Zuzak books that I've read. It's The Book Thief and I Am the Messenger. And I Am the Messenger is so underrated and it's really good. Like, this is Book Thief, this is I Am the Messenger. Yes, it's above. Next, I also bought Michelle Hodgkin series, The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer, Evolution of Mara Dyer, and Retribution of Mara Dyer. I also bought Becoming Nova Shot and I haven't read it yet, so it's on my TBR list. Next, for Colleen Hoover books, you know I love All Your Perfects and November 9. Then, for V. Schwab, I bought The Savage Song. I already have Hierarchy Wet. Then, for Gillian Flynn, my favorite mystery author, I bought Gone Girl. And poof, it's my favorite. And it's this book that made me love thriller books, and even the movie was great. It was directed by David Fincher. You can find it on Netflix. I guess it's already there. Then I bought another one from B. Schwab. It's Vengeful. It's the second book from Vicious. Then The Hate You Give. Next, I'm gonna discuss those series that I already started but I haven't really finished yet. Okay. So I bought Caraval. That's the only one I read. Legendary Finale. Not yet. Illuminae, which I've already read. Gemini and Obsidio, not yet again. Then Bright New Burns, the 3rd book from the Kirsten White series, the And I Darken series. It's a good book, it's also underrated, and if you love like slow-paced books and very thrilling ones where you're gonna watch them grow up, develop their personalities, I guess you try reading And I Darken. I also bought the Program series by Susan Young. It's The Program, which I've read, The Treatment, and The Remedy. I've read all those 3 books. And The Complication, which I haven't read yet, and other 2 books. Next, for the books I haven't read, I guess I'm gonna start with The Lovely War. They say it's great. Flame in the Mist and Smoke in the Sun by Renee Addy. I'm a fan of the Rat and the Dawn series and it's really good. So I'm expecting Renee would fail us or disappoint us with this one. A Reaper at the Gates. It's the 3rd book from As a Bata Here series. I haven't bought the first 2 books yet, and I'm planning to. I'm still looking for copies. Sounds Her Head and Total, it's from the Sight series by Neil Schusterman. Then A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmer. Next, I also bought On the Come Up, A Muse of Nightmares, it's part 2 of, I forgot the title. Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I have a few Leigh Bardugo books here and I really love her. And she's a great author. If you want to try and read her books, start with the Grisha trilogy. It's gonna come out on Netflix soon and we're gonna wait for it. Dance of Thieves and Vow of Thieves by Mary Pearson. Starry Eyes by Jen Bennett. Absolutely True Story of a Part-Time Indian. The Giver Quartet and Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. The Invisible Life of Paddy LaRue. And my friends are saying it's the best book of 2020. And it's again from Victoria Schwab. What do we expect? Her books are great. Okay, so this all happened because Pam encouraged us to buy. Actually, she was the only one buying books. Then she mentioned this shop on Instagram. It's called Books and Bake. And it's like a secret book selling Instagram page. She's the owner, Aliyah. She's actually selling baked goods and the books are like hidden. Then Pam saw, I don't know, like one of Aliyah's stories or whatever, that she's selling A Court of Thorns and Roses, and that started it all. After Pam recommending it to us, we all bought there, then you know what happened. So now we're broke, we're sad, and we're broke. And it's all because of Pam. But it's not really much of her fault, it's our choice, but it's still Pam's fault. And I'm a Gemini, and I'm gonna keep blaming her about this. If you want to see more of the books we've bought, I hope we're gonna have an unboxing video once they arrive here, because most of the books I bought were from United States, and my grandmother will be shipping them once all the books are there. So.
The past few months, my work has been so stressing. I need to find ways to cope, and I found buying books online is a great coping mechanism. So I was looking for a certain copy of this book, which I'm gonna mention later. And then from buying that book, it went on and on and on and on until I accumulated a total of, yeah, a lot. And these are not the only books that I got. I have a lot of books that are still in transit. Some are in my friend's home. Okay, so to start with, these are the books that I got during quarantine. The first book is a hardcover copy of A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. And I also got a hardcover copy of A Court of Things and Ruins. So a little backstory, I already have the paperbacks and a hardcover of Aquamap. And so when I heard that they are no longer reprinting the books with similar covers, I decided to find these because it's really, right now they're hard to find and you can only get this in a box set. And since I already have an Aquamap, I can't get a box set. So luckily I found this, especially Acotar. This one is really hard to find now. So okay, so the next book that I got is a copy of Poppy War and a copy of The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. So unfortunately, I still don't have my copy of the Poppy War because it's still about to arrive. The next book I got The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. And then I got another series. It's the Stalking Jack the Ripper series by Carrie Maniscalco. So the first book is Stalking Jack the Ripper. Then the second one is Haunting Prince Dracula. My third book, however, still about to arrive, and it's Escaping from Houdini. And last but not the least, Capturing the Devil. By the way, I am currently reading this book and I'm loving it so much. Okay, so for our next purchase is a copy of the Shatter Me series by Tahara Mafi. So, Shatter Me, Unravel Me, Ignite Me, Unite Me, and Restore Me. So the books that I'm going to mention now are the books that are not in my home because they are in my friend's home and some of the books are still in transit. So the first series is The Lunar Chronicles by Marisa Meyer. We have Cinder, Scarlet, Crest, Winter, Ferris, and Stars Above. I also got a copy of The Rot in the Dawn by Rani Adia. I got several Colleen Hoover books. I got Maybe Someday, Hopeless, November Night, and Ugly Love. And then I got the Vietnamese version of Tien Nguyen Si Phu by Mo Xiang Tong Xiu, and unfortunately it's still about to arrive. My very recent purchase are My Plain Jane by Cynthia Han, Brody Ashton, and Jodie Meadows, Words in Deep Blue by Kat Crowley, and lastly, I got A Crown of Fishes by Rashani Chose. So all in all, I got 29 books. Only 29? Yes, I only got 29 books.
Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you on our next video. Bye bye!